Nardi Chimbo Zatin Mi Yang, Zondi Molam Chimbo Abjada, Bakar Dargan Santu Germado, Domba Tuji Jan Laki Shang Tsar, Rom Chuji Yanji Podana, Jisum Sanji Kunjing Owen, Ransum Churkung on some Donza, Save Lama Nam Laki Shang Tsar. Good morning, welcome. So again, Dharma friends, and we always say in Tibet, Dharma brothers and sisters, gather here today again. So I'm very happy to be able to talk with all of you how to cultivate wisdom, meditation, teachings, and practice together. And this is what we call the supreme teaching and supreme practice, because the Buddha said that, uh, first of all, it is difficult to find supreme teachings, and second of all, more difficult is once you sort of receive the teachings or you get the teachings, but it's difficult to put them into your practice, because many reasons like laziness, distractions, obstacles, all of that. It's a receive teaching is not that difficult, but the more difficult is we are really not practicing what you receive the teachings. That's the problem. Then you and the teachings are sort of separate. Doesn't matter you receive teachings or not. It's not really change your mind, your conduct, everything. If you don't put the teachings into your practice. That's why Buddha said, second of all, it's very difficult to change and change your mind and conduct. But we all have sort of, this good opportunity to practice this profound teachings and instruction, and these teachings very, very precious. I think this is really precious because temporarily it is the cause for happy mind, right? If you practice, and because I think usually we can clearly see that Dharma practitioners can sort of easily handle difficult sort of circumstances or difficult situations than sort of ordinary people. We that's the really benefit if you practice meditation. If you have a difficult situation, you can handle easily. That is the point, your meditation. And eventually, its causes leading to the liberation. So it's important that making your mind sort of workable through the practice and receiving these supreme teachings. So I think if you think that way, we are very, very fortunate people because we have all the this kind of positive circumstances, and we, if you practice and when you receive the teachings, not just forget. You have to put them into your practice. That's the very, very important, and generally. And now here, first we need to do when we meditate is, I always say, correct your motivation. This means that uh, we should think about others and this world. Actually, there is not a single being who sort of, in this world without sort of suffering. So that's why we have to uh, develop and uh, think first our thought positive, and kindness towards the others. Um, uh, so, for example, think about I'm going to practice these precious teachings so that um, benefit for, in Tibet we say mother sentient beings, all, uh, if you believe past and future life, then all these beings sort of have been our mother parents. So that's why it's very important to think about, and uh, also who are suffering, right? So it is important to have this kind of motivation each time when we start our sort of meditation practice. That's very, very important. We call this is how you start your meditation. Um, you just do not just to sit down and then uh, you know relax. Not like that. When you meditate, you have to first correct your motivation. Make sure that you have sort of correct sort of intention for this meditation. And then second important is to have mind free from concept, which means to practice without distraction, and practice without worrying, and practice without sort of losing focus. For example, if you let come lots of your thoughts and you follow them, then they will destroy, your inner sort of peace. Then you will lose your practice meditation. So whenever you practice, you should try to practice with a sort of concentrate and with the sort of mindfulness. Of course, this is very, very difficult. If you not tamed your mind, it's very difficult. It's almost impossible to control your thoughts and your mind, whole your meditation. But we should try, right? So this is we call it how you remain with your practice, and this is how you sort of engage your practice meditation. So that's second. And then finally, at the end, when you have done anything that is good and virtue, it is important to must be you should dedicate your merit for the sake of all living beings. So this is how you finish your meditation. So if you do this, then your good deeds and your virtue will not be destroyed by any circumstance. So it's very important. There is a quote by the great master Longchenpa. He said, "Begin with the thought of bodhicitta. Do the main practice without concept. uh, Conclude by dedicating the merit." So these together and complete are the three supreme, we call it three supreme methods. Support for progressing or your process, on the path of liberation. So that's why we call it three supreme method. You have to remember. I don't know you remember all the time. I know that you meditate every day, So whenever you meditate, doesn't matter long or short, you have to remember these three sperm methods, and you have to have this uh, meditation and intention. Then your doesn't matter long or short, your practice will, this is we call the Mahayana meditation, which is really benefit for everyone, include yourself. So there's a general, and today we will talk about the cultivating. This is cultivating wisdom meditation, and it is the also three, seminar three, I think, according to our curriculum. So it's very important, and it's focused on nature of reality itself, and how we can use meditation to cut through our confusion and the cause of sort of unhappiness, and develop the wisdom. So it is meditating on the absence of the individual self, and meditating on the absence of self and phenomena. So cultivating wisdom meditation is actually a part of Vipassana practice. Maybe you remember this. The explanation of Vipassana practice meditation is divided into 5 parts, right? The first is the prerequisite condition for Vipassana. Second is different forms of Vipassana. Third is categorization of nature of Vipassana. Do you remember this? The fourth, methods of meditation, and then fifth, the determinant of accomplishment. So these, the cultivating the wisdom meditation is the third part of Vipassana, which is the investigation of external phenomena and internal objects, and how to sort of perceive the object. Because if you meditate, or if you think about self, maybe, today we're going to investigate, of course, mind and self. So, because maybe you believe that self exists somewhere, and you don't believe or don't have the realization of selflessness. So it's important. You contemplate about sort of the reasons, the proofs, and the characteristic of selflessness. So by doing this, through this kind of examinations and investigations and thinking them over, then maybe you are able to sort of develop a certain understanding of selflessness. So it's important. For example, when we first examine the mind, we always believe and think that the mind is very powerful to create all of these things. Of course, it is, but but looking inward, we are completely unable to find the mind, the creation, because it is not outside the body, it is not inside the body, or between these two. So, for example, when we investigate the mind or examine the mind, the examination has actually sort of 3 parts, um, uh, which is seeing whether there is a place that mind comes from. That's first, how you investigate. Seeing whether there is a place that mind stays after it has arisen. Second. Third, seeing whether there is a place that mind goes to when it ends. So these 3 are very, very sort of powerful if you follow this sort of examination, you know. So today I'm going to talk about something that's very unusual, you know. So maybe you will like, maybe not, but it's important, you know, because through this you can cultivate your wisdom. So it's about our mind, you know. It's about mind. So if you think the mind arises and comes because of the external object, usually we first investigate our mind. Second, we investigate the external objects, right? So if you think uh, the mind arises and comes because of the external object, if you think so, then how about the second? We have to, what is the external objects themselves? Um, we have to examine them. And so we have to find whether or not the mind first exists, you know. Does your mind has a shape, or your mind has a color? How is it? Um, is it something that you can see with your eyes? Is it something that you can hear with your eyes, with your ears? You need to sort of examine like that in detail. I don't know, I'm going to teach you in detail how to examine the mind, but this is actually, if you follow these three sort of, you know, investigation, then you will know. Buddha said that, you know, it is there. Your mind is there, but when you investigate, you can't find it. It's very kind of strange, right? If we explain this way, uh, it is definitely not nothingness. When we say the mind is empty, right? We say, oh, I investigate my mind three ways, like it's the same as my body, or different, or outside my body, inside my body, or between these two. Can't find, so my mind is empty. It doesn't mean that the mind doesn't exist. When we say my mind is empty, that doesn't mean your mind is completely exist, you know. Or is the emptiness of your mind like empty space that has nothing in it? No. But no matter how much we search, we investigate, we can never find this sort of, you know, dualistic mind. So the cultivating wisdom meditation is to do this kind of analysis, and and uh, you haven't found that the mind is not there, okay? Then just stay right there with sort of that understanding. Do you understand what I'm saying? And when some thoughts arise and sort of takes your this sort of natural sort of, you know, the mind away, and then again apply yourself to it, and you have to come back and put yourself on that understanding again, and then resting on that. So that's how we cultivate our wisdom. So this kind of meditation is, we would say, analytical meditation and resting meditation, because first you investigate, right? You investigate, and then you rest on it. So that's what we call first the analytical meditation, and then you rest on it, then rest in meditation. Um, these two are very, very important for the um, Buddhist practitioner. Analytical meditation we call uh, Bantita Shagam in Tibet. Bantita means very scholar. Bantita means very scholar. Shad means investigate. Gom means meditation, right? So, for example, if you want to know about things, then you get involved in resonance, right? Then you understand what it is, right? So therefore, this is first, if you want to understand your mind, then you have to investigate, right? And then you understand what it is, and then you sort of, meditate on that. So that's therefore it is called Bantita's meditation. Bantita's meditation. This is we call Bantita means you understand exactly what it is and how to cultivate, wisdom. So that's why this is we call analytical meditation or Bantita's meditation, And then the other is the rest in meditation. I'm sure you know this, but it is also we call in Tibet kusli jogam. Kusla means no activities. For example, you give up all your works, no activities, right? And then just it means just rest. You know, uh, so meditation without analyzing. So Kusala means no activities, which means no investigations, nothing. You just rest. You just rest on it. You just relax. That's what we call Kusala. Jokgum. Jok means just rest in Tibet. Jok means rest. No more sort of thinking. Just to relax. Gom means meditation. So these two very important. Uh, so first, for example, you investigate about something so that you understand it correctly, right? So then you can cut through your doubt, your hesitations, right? Because in order to, the doubt and hesitation is so important, especially you learning something, Buddhist teaching, especially like uh, Buddhist philosophy or something that like about the mind or something. First, you have to have sort of doubt and hesitations, all of that, because that helps you search and investigate more, and then you understand correctly. Then no doubt, no hesitate, right? So that's why we call cultivative wisdom. Right now, we are not so sure, right? Our mind is, or the self is, exists somewhere, or maybe not. We are not so sure. So that's why we don't have this wisdom. So, in order to cultivate this wisdom, you have to investigate first, because that helps you, understand correctly and clearly, and no hesitations. And not only that, then you have to meditate on it, because only you know something clearly, that's just intellectual. So you have to experience that. So that's why you have to meditate. So then you have wisdom. You have genuine wisdom. First you understand, then you experience. So genuine wisdom, because the knowledge that fully understand about the phenomena, the nature, the reality. So when you understand the reality, then with this sort of, this cultivate this wisdom, everything is sort of very sort of gentle and peaceful, right? If you really understand the reality. So then you rest in on it, and you have to develop it more and more. Um, you know, then you can sort of clearly be aware of this sort of nature or peacefulness or your openness, that's what we call it, resting the mind. Resting the mind, you will see the peacefulness, this openness, the luminosity, all of this, that's resting the mind. So uh, uh, it is cultivating your wisdom, because when you sort of cultivate your wisdom through this sort of examines, and the investigate, and then um, you rest in meditations. For example, the more you sort of investigate and rest on it, um, your mind will more open and sort of clear and vivid. This is we call combination of emptiness and wisdom. Do you understand what I'm saying? You um, if you investigate through logic or reason, proof like that, then you will see exactly the reality of the nature of your mind or your phenomena. So that's the uh, wisdom, and also you will understand the emptiness. So then you have to meditate on that. That's what we call combination of emptiness, or emptiness and wisdom, or the union. What do you call it? The union of emptiness and wisdom. You hear that many times, do you? So it's so important. That's why we're saying this is cultivating wisdom meditation. So you actually uh, have to sort of enter deeply into it. Once you understand what really is your mind, then you have to sort of enter deeply into it. And in order to sort of develop the realization of the true nature of your mind or phenomena, you have to enter deeply. And that is the way of how to cultivate wisdom, and how to open your heart and understanding about the reality of phenomena. So, and generally in Buddhism, we are looking at the mind, investigate the mind, looking at the mind and its relationship to the appearance of the world. We observe the mind to see what the mind itself. And then also we investigate what is the relationship between the mind and appearance, you know. Then we understand the essence of true nature. If you really, uh, sort of involved with this two kind of meditation, Bhante meditation or Kosala meditation, then you will see and understand the essence of the nature. This is our life. But our problem is that such a reality or true nature, this true nature, the combination of emptiness and wisdom, it doesn't fit in with the ordinary experience and with this sort of dualistic mind. So therefore, when beginners do this kind of meditation and investigation, sometimes a sort of certain amount of fear can arise, because they don't have sort of clear certainty about the selflessness. So they sort of still have a little bit of confusion of the meditation. Then they get a little bit afraid when they sort of really look into the mind and investigate. When they investigate about the mind and phenomena, then also especially between the relationship between the mind and appearance, then they investigate and go to more sort of deeply into it. Then sometimes they just confuse and get sort of panic like that. So it is important to know that actually ultimately the mind is, say, empty, right? uh, the mind is empty. There is nothing there, but just sort of natural state of peace, and we call it luminous. It is the sort of direct realization of selflessness and the liberation, which is the emptiness of outer phenomena, emptiness of inner these aggregates or phenomena. And it also has the ability to understand everything. And there is a knowing quality. So we call it self-arising wisdom. Do you understand? Self-arising wisdom. Uh, on the other hand, the relatively, for example, the mind arise because of cause and conditions, right? The mind arise because of this, what do you call it? These five elements: earth, water, fire, wind, space, all of that. That's also the cause and conditions. And mind arise because of nature of movement, Mind arise because of nature of openness and open space, So the mind always and continually appears. Um, uh, why I'm saying that? Because sometimes we investigate, self and mind, then people are really very uncomfortable with that kind of meditation and practice. So that's why, relatively, you have to understand these two truths. Ultimately, relatively, mind always arises and continually. Um, so. Everything is empty, but they will appear sort of in different ways, because of their causes and conditions, but I will tell you more about the about mind and how sort of mind works with uh, this appearance. I will teach you that more later. But first of all, we really need to understand what is meaning of the cultivating wisdom. You know, we have, of course, lots of wisdoms, right? We have wisdom, but that is maybe not the correct one. So we always think that uh, these things is exist, exist, and that's why I think people are really attached to them. So I think it's very important to investigate first, and then uh, I'm sure when you investigate, uh, uh, sometimes you get nothing. You just kind of lost, right? Sometimes when you investigate, you can't find anything, and then you just you just find the empty space, something like that. It's more than that, but for the beginners, when you investigate your mind, investigate your body, you will find uh, nothing. That's why I think for the beginners get panicked, because you go to uh, enter very deeply and investigate. If you understand how to investigate, really you will find nothing. Okay, so that's why, oh, okay, what now? You sort of sometimes you don't believe yourself. So that's why the result is when you investigate this and you experience sort of this first, I would say, empty space. Okay, the nature of mind, nature of uh, phenomena is not just empty space. More than that, but for the beginners, when they investigate, they will experience in just empty space. That's okay. So you just relax on that. that empty space. Understand? Just to first investigate. If you want to, I don't know, if you're comfortable and if you want to uh, sort of enter deeply this kind of meditation, then you just to really investigate uh, uh, your mind. Let's say first your mind, where they come from, and where your mind goes. That's it. Inside the body, right? We never think that my mind is outside body. We never think that, but just in case they say that, but we never think. We think that our mind is inside the body, or maybe, I don't know what you think, or your mind is the same as your body or something. So that's why I think you have to investigate more. Sometimes if you investigate your body, and then what is body? Um, these are kind of just thoughts, I think, just your thought. You can't find your body either. So just don't, if you don't like and uncomfortable, you don't have to investigate this way. Just to relax, and meditate on that sort of, uh, peacefulness. That's fine. Uh, but then why we investigate? Because I think we are not so sure, right? That's why there is a doubt, there is a hesitation. What it is, how work this mind, we have still unsure. That's why investigate, very helpful. If you're unsure, then you have to investigate. Try to find. Maybe you find something. If you investigate the result, you find, oh, my mind is there. Maybe you find nothing. If you have no hesitation, okay, you don't have to investigate. Don't have to investigate. We investigate because we are not sure. Sometimes, people sometimes, the teachers and Buddha, we have this kind of instructions because people are not sure. Maybe people are just not sure. Maybe people are just misunderstand without reason, without good reason. So that's why you have to investigate. It takes time. You can't find right away if you investigate, but eventually you will find. So it's very important not only investigate without meditate. You will experience something really different if you investigate. You get nothing, and then just to relax on that space. What do you call it? Empty space or nothingness or whatever you call it. You just to relax on that, and then right away, if you are really beginner, all of you actually today is really nice. This is not beginner. I mean, you are advanced students, so that's really good. That I think these teachings fit in your mind because you are not beginners. So that's why I think I'm kind of happy um, to teach this kind of for you. And maybe we need investigate. Maybe we don't because it depends you. If you really understand uh, uh, external object, internal aggregates, all of this, if you understand correctly, and then you don't have to investigate, just to meditate on that. If you don't understand, just relax. And if you have a question, just let me know. We'll do that today. Now is meditation time. So meditate. Important is this is the most important. Meditation session is the most important, right? Uh, that's how we change our mind, how we change our behavior, how we change our conduct. Only meditation. So it's important during the meditation, sometimes, there are different feelings, different thoughts, right, will arise. So then it is important to remember the, the master's instructions. Um, and the master's instructions for that is, they would say, rest, right? Rest in its nature. When you sort of have different feeling, different thoughts, rest, they say, rest in its nature. Do not try to stop your thoughts, your feeling. Do not also follow them um, anymore. That is the instruction. Do not, they say, do not further in anything, which means that you should not sort of develop further any kind of thoughts. For example, when you meditate, your thoughts arise and your mind sort of wander away. You should not sort of upset, over that. Rather, you should not think about it any further. Just come to sort of rest again. So therefore, I remember I always say this, Baptist Rinpoche say, the way of your thoughts arise is same as before, right? Because we are sort of ordinary people. We have different thoughts, different feelings. It can change right away when you meditate like this, few minutes. You're very, very peaceful. Maybe you will recognize the nature mind, but then you will lose. You will lose it, and then your thoughts arise. That's why Baptist Rinpoche is saying the way of your thoughts arise is same as before. Means you are not become a Buddha. You are not become a bodhisattva right away. A few minutes you meditate, and then right. So then your thoughts arise. These thoughts are exactly same as before. Same as before. That's, you should not worry. Bhakti Rinpoche say that. Don't worry about this. If your thoughts arise same as before, you should not worry. But the way they are freed is the most sort of special key point. That is his saying. Because that is we are different than just ordinary people, right? We are meditators, we are practitioners, right? So few minutes, few days, few years, when you meditate, still you have thoughts, still your thoughts arise, same as before, but now you are different than other people, other ordinary people, because you know how to free your thoughts. You know how to observe your thoughts. Ordinary people, when they have a thought, then they follow that, right? And they follow, and then your thoughts, one after another, kind of no end, endless. Ordinary people always follow their thoughts. There's no end, and because they don't know how to free them, they don't know how to recognize them. But that's why Paparam was saying that we are a little bit different than ordinary people because we know how to free our thoughts. So that's the instructions when you meditate. Then doesn't matter if you follow these instructions. Doesn't matter, what kind of feeling, what kind of thoughts arise, and how many times your mind wander away. Because we know how to liberate your thoughts and how to recognize and free them. So you immediately recognize your thoughts, then they are gone, and then just to relax there. That's not so difficult, actually. That's your meditation, always. We have these thousands of different teachings and like that, but the main point is just is when you meditate, your thoughts arise, recognize them, and then relax that. That's the meditation. That's the essence of the teaching, essence of meditation. And by doing that over and over again, your meditation practice sort of begins to sort of train you how to stay without wander away, right? Wander away. So that it can help you sort of learning how to continue sort of open and without losing this self-awareness or self-awareness wisdom. In this way, your meditation can help you sort of discover and experience the inner peace and the nature of mind. So this is uh, very, very important instruction, because for the beginners, when they meditate, sort of this happen a lot, right? When their thoughts come and then they lose their main practice and then their worries, like that. And then you are not so interested to meditate because it bothers you, and then if you don't follow the instructions, okay? Now, first, what we do, correct your motivation, and you should really sort of uh, generate a positive sort of motivation for living beings, uh, and uh, this is first, first our meditation. So you should sort of think that, I'm going to meditate so that all living beings free from suffering and um, sort of attain enlightenment, you know. Uh, because because we have to change our mind, uh, not just saying these things, right, but uh, deeply, we have to think uh, there is no single being in this samsara who is not suffering. So that's why we correct our motivation, sort of giverize the bodhicitta mind, uh, and once your motivation is sort of established, then you can do little bit sort of investigate your mind if you want, okay? Let's say if you want, a little bit investigate your mind during your meditation, and you focus on sort of, alternate between looking at the mind and then relax on it. Alternate, so for example, investigate a little bit about your mind and then relax on it. If you investigate, no meditate, no relax on it, then you will be very uncomfortable. So just when you a little bit investigate if you want, and then just relax on it. If you don't want to investigate, that's fine. Just to relax on your mind, your what you call it, self-awareness, uh, and do not really follow your thoughts of past and future. Just to remain in the present moment. That's very important. And uh, if you have a little bit sort of difficult to meditate on the nature of sort of awareness, then I think it helps you if you meditate on breath. Breath. What do you call it? 3 stages. Breath 3 stages. Uh, breathe in, relax. Breathe out, relax. That's I called breath meditation in 3 stages. So if you are just relaxed, and if you have no problem, your meditation with the focus on awareness, self-arising, wisdom, then you don't have to focus on your breath at all. Focus on your breath is a method, right? How to remain or how to peace, calm your mind. That's all. But your mind already calm and you are there, you don't have to focus on your breath. That's what I'm saying. If you are difficult, if you have a little bit difficult to meditate on this self-awareness, this peacefulness, sometimes your thoughts come destroy this, right? Inner peace. Then I say, should use this method. Breathe in, relax. You don't have to focus on anything. Just to breathe in. You have to feel that. You have to feel, breathe in, relax. It helps you really calm down, right? Your breath really helps. Both your body, your mind. Breath is amazing. And it's good thing it's always with us, right? 24 hours. So just there is no need to use sort of other methods. Just focus on breath, relax, and then breathe out, relax. Very easy. This is kind of for beginners meditation. I don't think you need this kind of meditation. So just if you don't need, then just to relax your meditation on your nature of awareness, I would say, or what do you call it? Look into, bring your mind kind of sort of inside. Do you understand what I'm saying? Inside means you recognize your mind. Um, if I use sort of high word, then you recognize your true nature. Then relax on that. Understand? Any questions? No? Clear? Okay, now meditate for 20 minutes, okay? If you want to take a break, you can, and then just go back to your meditation. If you're comfortable, then continue meditate on your mind for 20 minutes. And if you want to investigate about your mind a little bit, you can.